Right, welcome to Electron FX, and this is basically an introduction video for beginners. You know, some of you have been asking questions, right? What really is Forex? And sometimes it seems to be confusing, right? So you just see some funny stuff. You see candles, and you're wondering how is this thing really done? You just see something like this. You're wondering how is this really done? What does all this what do these stuffs really mean? How can I make money from this? What is the relevance of all this? Right? How do they really make their money? Right? Comfort is the comfort in this video is that will be helping you to understand those things that you don't really understand about Forex and what Forex is all about, right? This is first for beginners. It's a beginner guide to Forex trade, right? So before I continue, I would like you to just take a minute to join our Telegram page, right? Just join our Telegram page, the link in the description. So just go to the description of this video, right? So let's go to the description of this video and join our Telegram page, right? So let's join our Telegram channel, sorry, not page. Let's join our Telegram channel with the link in the description so that you can get more of our content and all of that, so you'll be notified when they are released. So what is Forex? What is Forex? Now, basically, Forex stands for financial exchange. That's what Forex stands for. It stands for financial exchange, right? Or foreign exchange, right? So we can just term it as foreign exchange. Simply means foreign exchange. I just simply means foreign exchange, right? So what do we mean? What are we exchanging? What we mean by when we say foreign exchange, right? Now, the whole idea of Forex is basically the same thing with a local trader, right? For instance, you sell shoes, you buy the shoes at the rate of maybe $10, and then you sell it at the rate of $20 or $30, right? You make your profit of from the change in the prices between when you bought it and when you sold it. So that is the same thing that applies to Forex. But what makes it foreign exchange is that the things you are buying and selling are not local goods like shoes, clothes, foodstuffs, and all of that. The stuffs you are selling are foreign or digital assets, right? So the stuffs that you trade on the financial markets are foreign, and you don't really buy these stuffs like physically. Let's look at the stocks we can trade. So the stocks we can trade on the financial markets, right? What can you trade on the financial market? Since we don't sell shoes on all of that, what can be traded, right? What can be traded? What can be traded? What can be traded? What can be traded in Forex? There are basically various things that we can do in Forex. And for a start, the basic one, which is the currency pairs. Currency pairs. As the first thing that can be traded on the financial market. The currency pairs. All right, I will explain them one by one later on. You can trade stocks, right? You can trade stocks, trade gold. They have where they are classified. You can trade currency pairs. You can trade synthetic indices. Right, so you can trade synthetic indices. Right, you can trade currency pairs, stock indices, and so much more. So those are here, the one that is running now, which is a cryptocurrency. No? So stuff so you can trade on the financial markets, cryptocurrency. So if you come to this point, let me increase the font of this so I can be more visible. Right, 2020. So the stuff you can trade on the financial markets, cryptocurrency that is not crypto. Right, cryptocurrency. So if you go to this point here, so if I click here, you can see basically what you can do on financial markets. You can see currency pairs, Aussie dollar, GPY, Aussie USD, Euro, AUD, Euro CAD, Euro CHF, Euro British pounds, Euro yen, Euro USD, and all of that. These are the stuff you can trade. These are currency pairs. Why? Why they call currency pairs? Currency pairs is simply you're trading one currency against the other one, right? That means, let me just explain this in a simple form. For example, if we are trading the Australian dollar against the US dollar, we are trying to say that if we buy AUD, right, we are believing that the value of AUD will be higher than USD in the nearest future, right? And that means US dollar will drop in value in the nearest future. Have you seen the same concept? I remember I told you that in your local markets, when you buy a wristwatch for $10 and you sell it for 15, then you have made profit. So now that is the same thing that applies into trading. So if you are buying the Australian dollar, which is the AUD USD, you're believing that in the nearest future, it will be higher than the US dollars, right? And you believe that US dollar is going to drop when compared to AUD in the nearest future. For instance, if you're from Nigeria, currently a naira, a dollar is equal to about 500 naira or thereabouts. So now, if I believe that the Nigerian naira is going to drop, that means I believe that the US dollar is going to drop in value. Sorry, that means I believe that maybe in next week, it's no longer be $1 to 500 naira. It's not be $1 to maybe 300 naira, right? I can go and sell. I can go and buy the Nigerian naira, believing that it's going to rise in value. That means if I buy it for 500, that is what I'm buying Nigerian naira. I'm buying Nigerian naira at, sorry, no, you're not going to buy, you're going to sell. So I will now sell the Nigerian naira, which I have at $1 to 500, believing that the value is going to go up. It's going to go up, yes. So if I sell it at 500 and the value eventually goes to 300, meaning that Nigerian isn't appreciated, that means I have made profits. Since I sold it at 500, that means when I'm going to buy it again, I'm going to buy it at 300 and not 500. So that is basically the same thing. So if the US dollars was equal to 500 naira now, and I believe that Nigerian value is going to go down again, meaning that I believe that Nigerian naira is going to go to maybe 600 or 700, I can simply buy US dollars at that 500 naira rate, and when it goes to maybe 600 or 700 naira, I can sell it back at that price and make my gain of 200 per US dollar that I bought. So that is the idea behind this, right? You're believing that one currency pair will rise in value and another one will drop in value, or even if you remain stagnant, the one has risen in value will give you a profit. So if you're buying Euro CHF, you're believing that the euro dollar will the value of euro dollar will increase, while that of euro CHF will be lower than that of the euro. And if you are selling this, you're believing that the euro is going to reduce in value, while the CHF is going to increase in value, right? So that's just it. So the buy and the sell, the buying means that you believe that the first currency is going to increase in value related to the second one, and then the sell means that the euro is going to reduce in value relative to the CHF, which is everything here. with the Switzerland or something, or Switzerland currency or the other part. So let's look at trade on stock indices, and these are just indexes. US index, German index, all these stuff. You can sell these stuff when you believe that the value is going to increase or reduce, stocks, Wall Street and all those stuff. So you can believe that it's just like buying shares in a company, right? Believing that maybe the company is going to be profitable in the long term and the price goes up and all of that. So it applies commodities. We have oil. If you believe that maybe oil or gold, the price is going to increase related to US dollars, you know that currently, oil is at $83 per barrel, or I don't know how they do it. So if I believe that this stuff is going to go higher, maybe it's going to go from 83, as you can see on the right hand side, it's going to go from 83 to 90 or 95. I can simply buy oil at this price, and then when it goes up, I am going to do what? I'm going to make profits. So that is the idea behind forex trading. So you can see other things you can trade. You have the synthetic indices. These are not synthetic, means something like plastic, right, or false. These are not real assets. They're just stuff that help people to make money, right? You just buy all these stuffs or sell them with believing that it's going to go high or drop in price. That is basically the same concept, right? The only difference between these synthetic indices and other ones is that other ones are stocks that are generally offered, like their general prices. Like oil has a price worldwide. All these stocks have a price worldwide. But static indices are just like, let's say, virtual assets. Let's say, if you play bets or all of that, you can bet that maybe England is going to win Nigeria in a football match. And then they have what they call the virtual. The virtual is not the actual match, but it takes a similitude of the betting that you do in the local auditoriums or all of that, right? So that is basically what Sentimental Analysis is about. It's like a program that copies how other currencies are traded or other commodities are traded or how stocks are traded. And then it tries to give the user that interface, meaning that we can make money trading these stocks without actually um, having a physical access to them or physical information about them. So you just basically use your chart to analyze. That's why I'll be teaching you more. Then the next thing we have is the cryptocurrency. Some people always say that cryptocurrency is not forex, but anything that can be traded on the chart, on the digital platform, I call that forex. It's foreign exchange. These are not local stocks. You can't see Ethereum in your local market. You can't go to shop and go and need to buy Ethereum. So I call this forex. Some people will say that this is not forex, that this cryptocurrency, this and that, but it's basically the same thing. It's the same concept. You're buying at a price, believing that the price is going to increase or drop. So that is basically forex. So this is BTC USD, Bitcoin. If you buy Bitcoin, if you bought Bitcoin about last year, you should know how rich you are now. If you bought Ethereum as last 2 years, you should know how rich you are now. So that is basically it. If you buy it, the price goes up, you make profit. It comes down, you lose. And if you sell it at a high price, it goes down, you make profit, and all of that. So that is basically what you can trade on the financial market. It's how you can trade on the financial market. Now, after understanding what you can trade on the financial market, I've explained how you make your money. You make your money when something goes up, when the price goes up, or when the price goes down. So it's the price that determines the price that you bought it, and the current price that determines if you're making profit or you're making loss. Now, what are you seeing on my screen? This is called a chart, right? Before I go into that, so I've mentioned what you can trade on the crypto market, what you can trade on the financial market. So now still want to understand now. I want to understand something. I want to understand. So I want to understand how do you know when to buy or sell? How can you know when you should buy or sell to make money? All right. the goal of trading Forex is to make money, right? And the good thing is about it is that when you buy or sell these stuffs, you are just buying it on the digital platform. That means you're not actually buying oil per se. You're just let's say putting your money, you're buying maybe an amount of oil on the virtual basis, believing that the price is going to reduce or that so the oil will not come and be delivered to your house or something like that. You're not going to have physical access to it. The only goal of this is for you to make money when the price goes up or when the price goes down. It's like buying shares in a company, in a bank. When you buy shares in a bank or in a company, they're not going to come and give you the shares in your hands, right? So you're going to buy it, and when there's a profit, they will send you part of it to your bank account or as the case may be. So that is basically. Now, how do you know when to buy, sell? So how do you know when to buy or sell? How do you know when to buy or sell? How do you know? How do you know when to buy or sell? The first way you can know is what we call the technical. Sorry, you can know this by what we call the technical, technical analysis. So there are three different kinds of analysis that we can use to know when to buy or to sell these stocks. Technical analysis. So the technical analysis. So the technical analysis, that's the first way you can know when to buy or to sell these products. That's the first one. Technical analysis. The second way is a fundamental analysis. So the three ways in which you can know when to buy or sell these stocks to make a money. And the last one is the sentimental analysis. It has to do with psychology, as I can see from the name already. So these are the basic three ways in which you can know when to buy or sell: the fundamental, the technical, and the sentimental analysis. So now let us just talk about this and then we wrap it up. Now, this is the technical analysis, or let me start from the fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis refers to the nation's current state or the current environmental or economic happenings, right? So what I mean by that, for instance, this is let's go to that point. Let's go to that place. So this is the um, euro against the US economy. So if you're doing a fundamental analysis, you're believing that the euro is going to appreciate in value related to the US dollars. So now let's assume that Iraq sends a bomb into China and maybe China's bank, a part of or section of China's bank was bombed in the process, right? What is going to happen is that the US dollars is going to drop in value. Why? Because the economy will be affected by such impacts, right? So that is the fundamental analysis. You're checking what is happening in the nation, economy, the environmental, the political area. So those things that affect the nation, that's what we call fundamental analysis. You're checking what happens to the nation's economy, the nation, the environment, and all of that, and all of that, and all of that. So you're measuring all of that. So if there's a bump in US, the currency is going to drop. And if you believe that it's going to drop, you can simply do what? You can buy Euro USD, believing that US dollar is going to drop. And when it eventually drops, that means you'll be buying Euro, maybe let's say €1 to 5 USD at the moment you bought it, and then the value of USD now drops maybe to €1 to let's say 15 USD. Since you bought the when it was €1 to 5 USD, and now it's the US dollar drop in value and it's now become €1 to 15 USD. You see that you have made 10 extra USD as profit. So you sold you bought this pair. You bought this pair because the US dollar economy was 40, and you believe that the euro is going to give you that profit that you're looking for. So that is basically the fundamental analysis. Or if there's an election, right, or something has to do, you remember what happened sometime. This is still part of fundamental analysis. Concerning I think was it Bitcoin or something, that Elon Musk announced that Tesla will not be accepting cryptocurrency for payments of or purchase of his products. So what happened was that at that point, the value of these cryptocurrencies dropped significantly. Why? Because those people that were that had Bitcoin, right? When they heard that news that Elon Musk is not accepting this, so they believe that there's no need having my all these cryptocurrencies since I can't use it to purchase from Tesla. So let me just sell it. And immediately they sold. This market is controlled by people's money, right? Each stuff you see here is controlled by someone's money. Each stuff you see here is controlled by someone's money. So each stuff you see here is controlled by someone's money. Let's bring this out. So each time the market moves, it means someone's money was involved. So all these things you're seeing here are just people money. All these blue candles, all these upward movements means that price is buying, and all this move down means that people were selling and the value was going down. So this is AUDGPY. So as these candles were going down, it means that the Australian dollar was increasing relative to the Japanese dollar, and Japanese dollar was reducing relative to the Australian dollar, right? I mean the Japanese yen. What am I saying? The Japanese yen. So that is what we are talking about, right? So that is basically it. So each time you see you see all this movement, all this upward or downward movement, it means that people are actually buying these stuff. These candles represent what people are doing. I will go into candles in a bit from now. So now, maybe someone announced that something happened there, or news or something, and then people that were holding their Bitcoin, they sold it. Maybe they sold it. Remember that this market is moved by people's money. So maybe they sold it, the price of Bitcoin dropped and dropped and dropped. And now, maybe something else happened and the believer is going to buy. What happened? The market started buying back up, and started buying back up. And look at what happened. The price is currently at $56,000 for one Bitcoin. Have you seen that? So it moved all the way from 29 to 56 in a matter of weeks, right? So that is basically how this thing moves. It moves based on money, on people's money, right? So those people that are still holding the Bitcoin by, they're the ones making this price to continue going up. Immediately they decide to sell their Bitcoin, what does that happen is that this market is going to drop, or if something happens that affects the Bitcoin psychological standpoint in the minds of people, is going to affect the price of Bitcoin, right? So that is basically fundamental analysis. And the next thing I'm talking about is the technical, and technical has to do with trying to know when to buy or sell based on your charts alone, right? Technical analysis does not involve listening, does not involve news or listening to what's happening on the environment and all of that. No, it doesn't involve earthquake, all those stuff. It involves just looking at your charts and knowing when to buy or sell, right? So that involves trend lines, support and resistance, and all of those things, which I cannot really explain here, right? So I want to use this opportunity because this technical aspect is somewhere that will really get you confused. If it's easy to listen to the news and all of that, but when it comes to technical analysis, this is where you will need a thorough lecture, right? So I'll show you something in a moment. Let me show you this. So this is where we'll be teaching you basically all about technical analysis and all of those things. So this is our Forex hero, Zero to Hero program, right? So it's a 1-year intensive tutorship and mentorship program. We're teaching you Forex from the very scratch, right? From, as you can see, from the zero to the hero level, right? We'll teach you from scratch how to do technical analysis and all of those stuffs. We'll teach you how to manage your money and how to manage your emotions to be consistently profitable, and how to make entries with little drawdowns. That means if you enter a trade, how to enter without much drawdown, without too much loss, you know. So we're teaching you from scratch. We're teaching you Forex as a baby, from the baby level to the advanced level. So that is basically what we're teaching you when you come to register for our course. That was basically we're teaching you in our Forex Zero to Hero program, right? Teaching Forex from scratch, how to do fundamental analysis, where we get access to many of the things that we get access to, how to be profitable consistently, how to manage your emotions, because you know Forex involves mood. So to register for this, just click on the link in the description, or you can contact this number on WhatsApp or phone call or whatever. So it goes for only 25,000 naira. You know, many people charge more than this. I know someone that charges up to 50,000 naira just for this. But we are making this at a promo price at 25,000 naira or $50. You know how to, we can use, check the equivalents, right, of 25,000 naira. We teach you, it's a 1-year mentorship program. We teach you how to trade Forex from the beginning, right? Teach you everything you need to know about Forex and all of that. So that is basically that. So let's go back to our charts. Let's go back to our charts. So basically, that is all about technical analysis. So if you want to learn that, just click the link in the description and register when you start your learning ASAP. Now, the last part of this teaching is the sentimental analysis. And the sentimental analysis involves people's emotions to a certain stuff. You know, it has to do with people emotions, right? What people think, the psychological aspect of trading. What do people think about a particular thing? Maybe the US brings a policy that is maybe they say female children should not go to school anymore, right? That does not really involve much of the monetary aspect or all of that, but it can have an impact on the public mass, right? And those things in a way tend to drive price up and down. But the two most important part of knowing when to buy or sell in the financial markets is the technical and the fundamental. The sentimental is just a bonus. It just helps you to, you know, analyze and all of that. So when you register for our course, I will teach you how to do sentimental analysis. So we have sites we use for that. In our fundamental analysis, we also have sites we use to analyze this, because you can't just go to your news and be watching random news, all of that. So we'll give you the details on how to actually check up fundamental analysis, where to go to, how to follow up. You know, you can't just be sitting and watching all the news. We have sites that help us to analyze these things and break it down for us. And then the technical aspect of teaching you everything you need to know about the technical aspect of trading, how to analyze and all of that. So I want to end with this. You know, this chart you're seeing here is what constitutes the technical analysis. And each chart here, we call this Japanese candle or a candlestick, right? And this candlestick represents what? It represents the movement of price. Now, if you look at my right hand side, you can see that all these stocks are price, right? All these are price levels. And what this candle represents, it represents how price moved relative to time. Yes. So that means, as you can see here, you can see 24 hours. That means each candle here represents 24 hours. That means each candle you see here represents 1 day. So you can change it to whatever you want, 4 hour. So this is a 4 hour. Right? You can change it to 4 hour. Each candle, you want to see how price related in the last 4 hours. So you can simply click on 4 hours and have access to 4 hour chart. You can click on the 2 hour if you want to see how price has been related in the previous 2 hours. So each candle now representing 2 hours, right? Tell you, okay, this is how price moved, right? As you can see, this is the 2 hour chart. That means between this time to this time, the market reduced to this level. The red candles represents a reduction in price, while the blue candles represent an increase in price. That means the downward movement means price reduced, as you can see. Can you see this? So if you draw a line, let's just draw a line. See it? So if you draw a line, You can see how this place is. I see this. Look at the right. Look at the right. Can you see how the price is changing? So at this point, that means at this point, this at this particular time of the day, or the market was at $51,000. Then when it got to it came down to 506, and then it went up, and currently the price is at what, 566 region. So that's what that basically entails. It tells us what price did relative to the time. So that's the part of technical analysis. I just want to explain what this candlestick means. It just tells you what price did relative to time. This is the time path we look at, and these are candles. We call these time frames. We want to know what happened in the last 15 minutes, what's happened in the last 5 minutes, what happened in the last 1 hour, how did the price react to 1 hour. So that is how we do technical analysis. So if you want to register for a mentorship class, which is very, very important, if you want to learn how to trade, we're teaching you all these things in a simple form. Just register, just click on the description page or contact the number in the flyer as I showed you, right? So that is basically it. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join our Telegram community for access to other stuffs, right? So that will be the end of this video. So if you want to register for our courses, just do well to register ASAP before we increase the price, because we're going back to the normal price before in the next 2-3 weeks. We're just doing this for a bonanza for those that cannot afford it right now. So you can pay in installments, can pay maybe 15,000 and then 10,000, 2 installments, or any case may be, but it must not exceed a payment period of 1 month, right? So basically that is it. We're ending this video here, right?